In Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3, we learned that in order to reverse the merge, Raz must collect all 7 Source Dragon icons, and by the end of Season 3, he has 2, that being the icon of Strength, and I'm pretty sure the other sword is the icon of Energy, but that's not officially revealed. We also know that the icon of Motion is in the Monastery of Spinjitzu. But what if I told you I actually know where the other 4 are? That's right, I think I've basically figured out every icon. So let's dive into what will probably be one of my best theories ever. So like I said before, there are 4 icons that we don't know of, that being the icon of Flow, Focus, Life, and Balance. So let's start off with Focus. So my theory is that the icon of Focus is actually in the Cloud Kingdom. I know it's a stretch, but let me explain. We know the Source Dragons created most of the realms, and the Cloud Kingdom is probably one of them. How would it float? Magic? Okay, but what kind? My theory is that the Focus Source Dragon used one of his scales and made it an icon and placed it inside the engine. But what about in Season 2 Part 1 when the engine broke and the island started falling, I hear you asking? Well, my theory is that the icon and the engine are somehow connected. Remember when the engine was still broken, yet Euphrasia managed to stabilize the island even when Zane wasn't holding the engine up? Well, that's because the icon also helped stabilize the island. The truth is, it was never falling. It would have just fell straight down if it was. But it was actually just steering the wrong way since it was just leaning to the side. But since then they probably fixed the engine and that's why it's still floating. But my guess is Raz is going to invade the city of Get and steal the icon, sending it crashing down. Next up is the life icon, and I don't actually think it exists in the mortal world yet, but I do think Raz is going to forge it in Imperium. In my first video on Raz's master, I explained that Raz probably used the elemental energy from the dragons in Imperium to forge an icon to capture that massive source dragon in Imperium. So, what if he does that again? He invades Imperium, forces the scientists to drain the dragons, and then forges the life icon using the elemental power. Now on to the flow icon. You see, this one is a bit of a stretch, but I think it's in Merlopia. Basically, Raz just goes to Merlopia and steals the icon. I don't really have a solid reason for why it could be there. I kind of just want to see Merlopia again. So yeah. Then there's the most interesting one by far. Where is the balance icon? Well, I think it already exists. And it's the first Spinjitzu Master's golden staff in his tomb. Having the first Spinjitzu Master's own staff be the final icon would just be the coolest thing that has ever happened to the franchise. And it would kind of be this whole full circle. And there you go. Those are the locations of every dragon icon. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.